Everose here. Welcome back to Hunter x Hunter. Today's episode dives into the mashup fans have long debuted but rarely see explored deeply. Chrollo versus Lucilfer versus Illumi Zoldyck. This isn't a loud battle. This is a war of control, identity, manipulation, and intent. Two men who didn't raise their voices, they pull strings. Before we begin, thank you all so much for the continued love and support. Your votes, comments, and engagement are the reason this mashup exists today, and I appreciate you guys endlessly. Yes, before we actually start the video, guys, I'm really excited to not just talk about this, but thank you all for literally supporting me since literally day one, and I cannot ask for amazing support, and you guys really helped me on my votes on my Instagram. If you guys want to follow my social media, they're down in the description below. I put the poll up and I just let you decide what you guys wanted to see, and you guys chose Chrollo versus Illumi. I'm like, sure, I can do that. And I've also done, tons of videos on Chrollo and one on Illumi if you guys want to see those other videos. But yeah, thank you all so much, and let's dive in. I'm really excited. Segment 1. Chrollo Lucilfer. Identity, belief, and leadership. Chrollo Lucilfer is not driven by ego. He's driven by purpose. So, even though I do talk a lot more about him, and I do have a solo segment on him, if you guys want to find this out, like look who he actually is and everything else, I already made a solo analysis about him a while back. So I'm not gonna dive into like where he's from and stuff like that, because you guys can watch it. But for context for this video, Chrollo Lucilfer is one of the antagonists of Hunter x Hunter, and he is part of a troop called, the Phantom Troop, and he has this belief about himself that he is very calm. He is very, he's very calm. He doesn't fear anything except losing the people that he loves. But he also has this stigma about himself where he believes that, he doesn't have a self-identity because he grew up in a place called Meteor City, and he used to be an orphan. And, he made this group with a bunch of his orphan friends that they call themselves the Phantom Troop. And he believes himself to be powerful, but he's calm about it. And he has this Nen ability in a Nen book. I'm gonna write it in the text because I don't remember what it's called. But he steals people's Nens to gain more power, per se. And he does it with full intent. He does not care if that person dies. Because if you're not valuable to him, he wouldn't really care what would happen to you. And Chrollo doesn't dominate, he inspires. So whatever happens to him, he has this rule in his group where if something were to happen to him, because he's a spider, right? He, since he's like the head, right? The other group are the legs. So if the spider loses his head, there comes another leader, which I think he puts Phaeton Porter, which I've also done another video on him as well. But Chrollo's very, very calm and very, he's not afraid of anything unless if it means losing, like, his group, because that group is a self-identity to him because he doesn't have one. And he thinks he's the best, but he's not like Hisoka. And I've also done videos on Hisoka as well, if you guys also want to watch it as well. Even as a versus with Chrollo as well. I'll put it in the title cards too. Yeah, he doesn't think of himself as righteous, but he does have an ego about it. He does. Segment 2. Illumi Zoldyck. Control, obedience, and emotional detachment. Illumi Zoldyck represents control taken to an extreme. Illumi believes that love equals ownership. His views of fear as protection, why he values results or mortality. So, I've also done a video on Illumi as well. And Illumi Zoldyck comes from a very, very rich family of assassins. And he actually became a part of the Phantom Troop because Hisoka, I believe, tells him about it. And mind you, Chrollo is really self-aware of the Zoldyck family, you know, and I've also done a video on Kilo, which I'll put it in the title card as well, where, you know, Chrollo fears the Zoldicks because he had to face one, because when Chrollo was fighting, Silva and Zeno, I think, the grandfather, he knew what he was up against, and he knew he couldn't really beat them because they were advanced, more advanced than he was. Chrollo's not really a fighter of physicality. He's more of a mental, of a mental type of child. Like, he thinks more psychologically than physical. Even though he does fight, but he's not like the best at it, because he uses the book a lot to help him become more powerful nun-wise. But Illumi has this obsession with Killua, his little brother, and he thinks he owns Killua, his little brother. And if it comes to it, he doesn't fear death or doesn't fear having to kill someone off. He's very emotionless, unless if it comes to either his mom or whoever, but I think it's mostly due to his brother Killua, that he has this like obsession, dysfunctional love with him. Could I think Illumi could take down Chrollo if he wanted to? Yes, but since they're like kind of in a team up, he could if he wanted to, but he doesn't want to. But he knows he's strong enough, and he knows Chrollo respects Illumi, because for one, he's dealing with Zoldyck, and Zoldicks, and the Hunter at least, they're very, you can be in a gang group or whatever, but if you have to face one of the Zoldicks, you better pray to God that you make it, because you're not. At least not with that family. You will not. And Chrollo has this respect for Illumi, even though, like, low-key, he's, like, afraid of him. Segment 3. Control versus control. This isn't a physical showdown, it's psychological chess. So, how Chrollo and Illumi approach manipulation differently. So, when it comes to Chrollo, for example, let's start with him first. He uses charm. He knows how to be a gentleman, especially when it comes to ladies. He knows how to charm them without any issue. But that's if you interest him in whatever you have nun-wise, or like you have something he really values and he wants to take it from you, which, whatever the case is, he's gonna get it. Versus Illumi, he's much like a robot. You know, he's not like charming in a sense. He's very awkward. He knows how to talk, yes, but he's mostly like, okay, like for example, Chrollo would, if you're a woman, Chrollo will hold your hand, tell you the things you want to hear. But in the back of his head, he's trying to see your weakness, to lower your guard, everything else. Whereas Illumi, he's straight up. Like, he's like, alright, you have something, give it to me or I'll kill you. Like, that's the type of manipulation that he does. Or, Illumi has these nun needles that he pokes into your head and then you become a zombie. And he can control you without any issue. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. One me respects power but not ideology. So in the group, the Phantom Troop really much idolized Chrollo. Like, his gang really idolized him, to the point that they're willing to sacrifice themselves for him. Illumi's not that. Illumi is more of, get the job done. I don't care if I'm a part of the group or not. But if you disrespect my little brother or you disrespect my family, I will kill you. Like, he doesn't care about being included. He just wants to get the job done. So, how Chrollo weaponizes loyalty is that he'll use your weakest points to prove to you that you need to give him something, or if you want to be a part of the group and you want to be loyal to him, you have to prove that you are willing to get your hands dirty. Because there's one thing about Chrollo, he's the type of person that, okay, he'll give you assignments, you do it, you clean the blood up, but he keeps his hands clean, even though he knows he has the bloodiest of blood hands. And Illumi uses fear, because for one, it's easier for him. Plus, it's not, like I said, he's so robotic. He doesn't care if you fear him, or he doesn't care about emotions. As long as it gets him what he needs to do, or what you need to do for him, if you work for him, he doesn't care. A confrontation between them would be interesting. I think it would mostly be if let's say Chrollo, which he does a little bit, kind of does threatening Killua and Gon when he does kidnap them, but I don't think he ever told Illumi that he like tried to hurt his brother, or he knows he would be dead, literally. Neither man needs to strike first. They just need the other to set. So basically, if they were on a one-to-one fight, they would try to outweigh each other, outsmart each other, just to see which one would fall first. And to be honest, between these two, they're both smart as hell. So, but if I had to choose though, I feel like Chrollo would be a little bit more strategic. Illumi is more like I said, get the job done. I don't care how it is, but he will try to outsmart Chrollo. I can tell you that. Who knows? Maybe in the manga when the OG Togashi comes out, which I'm really excited. Whatever happens between the two, it's gonna be interesting. Segment 4. Why this matchup reveals about humanity. This matchup exposes something unsettling. Control through belief versus control through fear. So real quick on this, because like I said, I already kind of said it through segment 3. You guys kind of get the point here. Chrollo, he'll do anything and everything in a calm way. He doesn't care how, he doesn't care when, but if it gets him through something that he needs to do, he'll definitely do it, and he doesn't care how. Versus conditioning, Illumi will condition you into thinking that you need to let something go. Like, he will not let you go until you do something. And the thing about him is that he's like, I don't care what you do. As long as you get what I need from you, you're done. I don't care if you're dead. I don't care how I'm gonna kill you. If you do it, do it. That's how Illumi conditions you, because his family is extremely dysfunctional. Extremely. No wonder Killua had to literally budge the crap out of there, because he didn't want to be an assassin anymore. You know? And Illumi's like, bro, you're carrying the tradition whether you like it or not. Chrollo gives you a choice, sort of, depending on how you need to do it. Let's see. How neither of them see themselves as villains. So basically, since they think they're doing good, which I think both of them, they see, I think Illumi sees himself a lot more righteous than Chrollo. Chrollo knows in some way he's vulnerable because he doesn't have identity. Illumi has ego. And so does Chrollo, but Chrollo doesn't tell you about it. Illumi kind of does, but like subtle though. This is a war of control, identity, manipulation, and intent. Segment 5. Final thoughts plus what's next. What Chrollo vs. Illumi teaches us? Well, for one, they should teach us not to be like them. You know, be very careful on how you choose to be in your group if you are a leader. Know when to be kind, but not dumb. Have boundaries. Control can be quiet or cruel. Loyalty is stronger than fear, but riskier. Depending on how you choose to be with people, choose very carefully, because these two men, they don't trust each other at all. That I can say for sure. They do not trust each other. As long as one has, as long as they're not crossing each other's boundary, they don't care what happened to the other person. Identity can be chosen or imposed. Yes. The most dangerous people rarely raise their voice. That is so true. When you hear someone angry and you hear someone they're always yelling, they're always showing their emotion, they're the most predictable people. They really are. But the most dangerous ones are the ones that are extremely silent. They don't raise their voice, they don't show emotion, they act like they don't care, which they probably don't. And they're probably the smartest ones, because if you think about it, if you're loud and obnoxious about it, people will get to predict you like that. But if you're quiet and silent and you know what you want, you'll get it. That's just how it is. Because they always say the loudest people tend to be the most insecure, and the quietest people tend to be the most confident. This isn't a battle of strength. It's a battle of philosophically. Alright guys, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys like this episode. If you guys want more context on these two characters, I will link their solo episodes, even though even though Illumi is a versus, but I do talk about Illumi and where he's from and stuff like that. But thank you all so much for watching. We will also do another episode on probably on Hunter x Hunter, and if you guys want to follow me on my socials, they're down in the description below. Alright guys, per usual, love you all. Bye.